Look at North America on a map, and Alaska defies logic. A massive U.S. territory separated by Canada, peering at Russia across a tiny strait. This isn't an accident of geography. It's a tale of empires, vast fortunes, and a forgotten 19th century gamble. Russia's claim to Alaska commenced in the 18th century, primarily through the pioneering expeditions led by the Danish-born navigator Vitus Bering. These daring voyages across the Bering Strait not only unveiled this vast, rugged land to European eyes, but also firmly established Russia's initial presence and territorial assertion on the North American continent. The crucial driving force behind solidifying this distant foothold was the immensely lucrative fur trade, especially the high demand for valuable sea otter pelts in markets stretching to China. This economic imperative propelled the establishment of Russian America, a network of trading posts and settlements operated by companies like the Russian American Company, dedicated to exploiting these rich natural resources. However, exercising genuine and effective control over such an immense and geographically isolated territory proved exceptionally challenging. With a remarkably sparse Russian population, thinly spread across vast distances, and facing formidable logistical difficulties in terms of supply, communication, and defense from the imperial capital in St. Petersburg, Moscow's administrative reach and direct influence remained considerably limited. This precarious hold over its distant Far East possession would eventually become a key factor in its future decisions regarding the territory. Russia's grip on its sprawling Alaskan territory grew increasingly tenuous. The empire found itself financially strained, especially after the costly and revealing Crimean War, which starkly exposed its logistical weaknesses and inability to effectively defend such a distant outpost. Alaska, from Russia's perspective, was becoming a vulnerable liability rather than an asset. A primary concern was the ever-growing British influence emanating from neighboring Canada. Russia harbored a significant fear that its powerful geopolitical rival might simply seize Alaska without providing any compensation. Consequently, selling the territory to a more amicable nation like the United States appeared a pragmatic solution, simultaneously securing a much-needed financial injection and preventing its potential loss to an adversary. Moreover, beyond the diminishing returns from the fur trade, Alaska offered limited immediate economic benefits, further accentuating its strategic vulnerability and solidifying Russia's decision for a strategic retreat from North America. Following the devastating Civil War, a revitalized America embraced a fervent expansionist vision, driven by the concept of manifest destiny, the belief in its inevitable continental growth. At the helm of this ambition was Secretary of State William Seward, a keen geopolitical strategist who recognized the untapped potential of extending American dominion into the Pacific. He masterminded the 1867 agreement to purchase Alaska from a willing Russia for the surprisingly modest sum of $7.2 million. This transaction, however, was far from universally celebrated. It was initially met with widespread public skepticism and derision, quickly earning the infamous moniker Seward's Folly. Many Americans questioned the wisdom of acquiring what they perceived as a desolate, ice-covered wilderness, dubbed Seward's Icebox or Polar Bear Garden. Yet, Seward's vision extended far beyond immediate perceptions. He possessed remarkable foresight, anticipating Alaska's future as a treasure trove of immense resource potential, from rich fishing grounds and vast timber forests to undiscovered valuable minerals. More importantly, he recognized its critical strategic value, positioning the United States for significant geopolitical influence in the North Pacific, a prescient move that would pay dividends for generations. Canada's non-involvement in the Alaska Purchase is largely attributable to its political standing in 1867. Although the Dominion of Canada was federating that very year, it remained a British colony, meaning its foreign policy and significant territorial decisions were firmly under the purview of London. An independent Canadian foreign policy, capable of pursuing such a large acquisition, was still a distant prospect. The British Empire, for its part, showed no particular interest in acquiring the remote Alaskan territory. Instead, Britain focused strategically on consolidating its extensive existing North American holdings and crucially avoiding any unnecessary financial outlays or potential conflicts with the United States, especially in the wake of the American Civil War. Consequently, Canada itself lacked both the necessary political autonomy and the immediate financial or strategic capacity to challenge the American purchase, or indeed, to consider acquiring such a vast, distant territory for its nascent federation. Canada simply observed from the sidelines as the United States sealed the deal. Alaska's true value wasn't immediately apparent, but time brought it to light. The discovery of gold, then vast oil reserves like at Prudhoe Bay, swiftly transformed its economic perception, validating Seward's much maligned purchase. This once scorned territory evolved into a major economic powerhouse. Geopolitically, Alaska proved crucial during the Cold War, serving as a vital front line against the Soviet Union, due to its proximity, solidifying its strategic importance. Today, Alaska still holds immense significance. It's celebrated for its unique cultural heritage and awe-inspiring wilderness, deeply woven into American identity. Furthermore, it plays a critical role in national resource security and is increasingly vital for Arctic diplomacy, underscoring its multifaceted and enduring legacy. Alaska's purchase was a pivotal geopolitical move, not an accident. In your opinion, how might Arctic/Pacific geopolitics differ if it remained Russian or became Canadian? Share your thoughts in the comments.